Alright, thank you for taking just a minute here to view this webcast on Understanding POE, Power over Ethernet by Peter Brissett with GSP America. So let's get right into this. What is POE? Basically, Power over Ethernet is defined across a single network link. The three basic components of a POE connection are the equipment that delivers power to the cable, which is often referred to as PSE, which stands for Power Sourcing Equipment. The device, which receives its power from the cable, also known as a powered device, or a PD. And, of course, the cable itself. Some quick examples you can see. Typical powered devices include IP cameras or wireless access points. And typical power supply equipment would normally be a POE-enabled switch or a midspan, which would be a midspan power injector that is patched into a standard switch to give it POE capability. And you kind of see those examples on the right there. So two major areas of issues with POE right now kind of in the marketplace. So one of them is the classification of the powered device. Most manufacturers are not doing a real good job of labeling those devices. But basically how it works is that a part of the startup process, when a POE connection is made, the powered device essentially advertises its power class, which is an indication of how much electrical power it requires to operate. There are a few different class types, and each class has a different power option. So class 1, basically the minimum sourcing power is 4 watts. The typical power at the camera is about 3.84 watts. Typical that you would see is maybe a voice over IP telephone. Class 2 is 7 watts. The power device itself will draw about 6.49 watts of power, and that can be IP camera or something like that. And then class 3, 4, or 0 could be a device that just doesn't designate one. If it doesn't designate one, it comes up as 0, and then that's 15.4 watts, which the device itself then is 12.95 watts. And that could be a wireless access point. And it could be there are a number of IP cameras out there that operate in that field as well. So it's important to know going in, if you're installing any kind of IP cameras, what the classification of the device is, so that you can know how you need to be configured for power. That brings you to the second part of it. Then is how do you determine the total amount of power that you need. So basically those figures that we gave you are the upper limits. One thing to note is that power cannot be forced down the cable. That's a surprisingly common misconception about POE. The power device simply presents a load to the cable, and it draws as much current as it needs. Most POE powered devices will draw a fixed level of power. So again, it doesn't. A POE switch does not push power down the cable. The device actually pulls and draws the power that it needs from the device. We'll go into more safety features as we go here. So again, we get into the second really big issue is what kind of POE switch do you have? There are two different kinds, and again, manufacturers have not been very good about advertising exactly what it is in their device and what it does. So the thing that you need to know is that there's the kind that operates with a guarantee per port, and there's the kind that operates with a total power budget. Guarantee per port means that you can connect as many class 3 or 0 devices, and the switch will be able to power them. Okay, so you got 15.4 watts for every single port, and it's going to be able to power all those devices without a problem. Those are typically more expensive. They're a little bit bigger, and they do draw more heat, so they are better in a controlled environment. A total budget switch can only power as many devices as it has power to spare. Example, a 4-port switch with a total of 30 watts. You could power 4 Class 2 devices, which is about 7.5 watts each. That's 30 watts, so that's okay. You could power 2 Class 3 devices. 2 times 15 watts equals 30. That's okay, but that's going to be the limit of it. You cannot power anything additional besides those 2 devices. Some of the built-in safety measures that are built into the POE technology itself. One is signature detection. We kind of talked about that. No voltage can be applied to the cable until a compatible powered device has been detected. The classification can be detected before the device is powered up. So you're not going to have, by plugging it into a POE, you're not going to have a situation where you've just put way too much power to the device and fried it. Current limiting is employed to protect the PSE from overload and to quickly disable malfunctioning PDs. Again, these are built-in functionality of POE. Polarity protection provided by the bridges in the PD's power input circuitry means it can safely receive power regardless of the configuration and polarity of the voltage on the cable. So you don't have to worry, am I getting the plus and minus in the right place? It doesn't really matter. Automatic disconnection of devices is performed when the monitored current falls below a minimum level. And low voltages are used to protect installers from electric shock hazards. The voltage used by POE up to 57 volts is high enough to be efficient, but low enough to be safe. Alright, distance concerns. So these are a big concern for POE power to IP cameras and the distance that you're going to have. So you have about 330 feet max that you can provide power over Ethernet to power IP cameras and other devices. So there are some ways around that, though. There's a company called Veracity USA, and there are other companies out there as well. But basically, what they're able to do is provide a product, basically a mid-span injector that, or a extender, basically, that can increase the distance. So here's kind of a picture and example of one of their products called Outreach that basically takes POE network switch. You add this device, you can then extend another 300 feet, add another device, extend another 300 feet. So this will give you the opportunity to be able to extend a much longer distance for your cameras. So real quickly here in closing, just want to mention some of the advantages of POE and why people are using the POE. One big reason is lower cost of installation. Basically, you've got one cable for power and data, so you're not running separate cables for your power and separate cables for the data. So that's one of the advantages. The other advantage is from a easier to maintain perspective is that with a central power supply, typically you're going to have a UPS backup, so that if power ever went out to your facility, that the UPS backup would kick in and you would actually still maintain all your devices powered. So particularly in a situation with cameras, if you were to lose power, your cameras would still be powered. You'd still have recording that would be going on of anything at your facility. So those are the main advantages of POE. So in closing, if you have any further questions or would like to learn about the many IP cameras we offer at GSP America, please feel free to email me, peter@gspamerica.com. Number is 1-800-298-0470. And if you're on LinkedIn, we'd love to connect with you there. Just look me up under Peter Brissett. Thank you, and have a great day.